Ooh, nobody cannot tell me that Superman and Lois isn't like the best thing the CW and HBO is currently putting out. It is fantastic. Every single episode of this season has been great. I cannot fucking believe that it's going on a 1 month hiatus again. But woo, this episode, oh my god, it's so great seeing Jordan like use his powers, because if you remember from season 1 when he was first developing his abilities, Jor-El had essentially told Clark that he would never have 1% of the abilities that Clark has as a Kryptonian underneath the yellow sun, because his human DNA was essentially too unstable. Now, this season we have seen massive growth. We've seen him able to kind of sort of hold his own against Tal-Rho. Then we saw him beat 3 now individuals on XK. I mean, absolutely mopped them with no issues whatsoever. His super speed had kicked in last episode when he saved Johnathan and his girlfriend from that one hillbilly on XK, but it has completely reached a new level now. The simple fact that like he kind of pulled a little bit of the Flash's move with the heat vision coming in and everything slowed down, and he just kind of like turned to the side, dodged it, and was like, "What is that?" Zoomed away so fast that General Lane and Lois couldn't see where he went. Neither could the goon who's on XK, who should have been able to see him, and just one shot knocks him out. No issue whatsoever. So I would say that Jor-El is wrong about his powers, but he might have been right initially. So I believe that during season 1, because of the instability with Jordan's DNA, I still want to believe that when Tal-Rho used the Eradicator to essentially put a Kryptonian inside of Jordan, the Eradicator essentially opened up Jordan's latent Kryptonian abilities. It allowed him, or allowed his body, to essentially be able to regulate both his human half and his Kryptonian half, opening him up completely to the Kryptonian side of his powers without having to worry about the weakness on the human side of his powers, which is why we've seen him essentially be on this scale that's just shooting up. I believe by the end of this season, he's probably going to be as powerful as his father, or maybe just a little rung below him. Now, on the opposite side of the spectrum, at the end of this episode, we saw Johnathan's doppelganger come from the Bizarro universe to our universe, and he's the one in that universe that it looks like he has the powers, and it looks like Jordan is the one who's still normal. So I kind of wonder what the relationship between the brothers is, because their relationship essentially got better in the regular universe because Jordan developed powers and Johnathan was always special because he always had football and he was a great athlete. Because of that, there was no jealousy on Jordan's part, and then Johnathan only started having jealousy towards the end when Jordan was essentially using his powers to do everything that Johnathan was good at from birth. Now, we saw that Johnathan on XK had a lot more abilities than the other individuals that are on XK, and the end of this episode, I feel like it's really hinting at the fact that his powers are starting to activate. Because looking back at the beginning of essentially the season, when the Bizarro doppelganger showed up on Earth, it was the medallion that he was wearing that was connecting him with Clark, where he was having those like intense panic attacks where he could see what he was seeing, feel what he was feeling, and basically Bizarro was dealing with the exact same thing when he could see what Clark was dealing with and what Clark was feeling. For Johnathan, when he was in town after him and his girlfriend separated, it seemed more like it made the sound of it made the exact same sound that the super hearing sound made when Jordan and Clark was essentially teaching him about his super hearing, where it's like that loud, high-pitched whine. It kicks in for about 2 seconds, it catches him, and then he reorients himself. Now, it could also be that this is also a side effect from his Bizarro self coming over to this universe. That's 100% the case. But it's not being portrayed the same way that it was for Clark. With Clark, it was intense images and flashes of something in the mines, along with the panic attack and the emotions of Bizarro being imposed upon him. For Johnathan in town, it was just a high-pitched whine, almost as if his super hearing kicked in for a couple seconds and then it instantly went away. So I'd be interested to see if we can continue watching Johnathan, whether or not if at the end of this season, his powers are going to finally kick in. Now, talking about Clark, I have no idea what's going on over there in the Bizarro universe. It seems as though everything is essentially in the reverse. Now, I had originally thought that the reverse of everything also included the way in which everything color-wise was, because we saw when he first ended up over there that the skies were red, but it seems as though in the next episode, he's walking around that universe's version of Metropolis, and the color scheme is fine, but it looks like there's celebrities in that universe, so it'll be interesting to see what exactly that dynamic is now that he's over there in that universe, trying to make his way back to our universe. And apparently, a month? I think he's been gone for like 1 month or 3 months, somewhere along those lines. Absolutely fucking insane. I'm wondering if there's some time slippage where for him it's only been like a couple days, or if he's actually been trapped over there for an entire month. I really wasn't expecting that the Asian lieutenant girl, I really wasn't expecting her to be like that attached to Anderson. I kind of felt that she was a lot more by the book, but the simple fact that she decided to help Psycho Bitch number 1 go over and meet her reverse doppelganger, Psycho Bitch number 2, that completely caught me off guard, because she's like, make sure you bring Anderson back. I'm like, who gives a shit about Anderson? Nobody cares about Anderson. He's a douchebag. Like, he beat the hell out of soldiers and accidentally killed a couple of them, and then he ran off to another universe to gain ultimate power. Lady, he's toxic. Let him go. But I enjoyed this episode. This episode was dope as hell. Give me more of this. This episode definitely had a Smallville vibe. If you've ever watched Smallville, you know what I'm talking about. When Jordan threw up the hood, I was like, that's classic Blur from back in Smallville, when he's just zooming around as the red blue blur running across Metropolis. That's perfectly it. And it's also Jordan's design. Get him like a Superman shield for a shirt, and that's basically Superman Year One. I love that too, 100%. But yeah, this episode was dope as hell. 1 month wait. I don't feel like waiting for 1 month. Oh my god, that's gonna take so long. Just give me the next episode already. Is it actually 1 month? Hold on. Let's check this out right now. Is it 1 month? It is 1 month. Wait a minute. The newest network. April 26th? April 26th? What am I supposed to watch? I like how this Jonah's like, hey, you should watch Naomi. No. But yeah, I can't wait until the next episode whenever it comes out. I'll probably there's 1 or 2 other things that I definitely feel as though need to be looked at because it's super interesting in regards to this, but we'll probably get around to that in a little bit, probably when it comes back. But yeah, this episode was fantastic. I really hate the fact that they've been taking like these really big breaks like every 3 episodes. That's kind of annoying. It stretches out the season when it really doesn't need to be stretched out, in my opinion. But yeah, that's just me. Let me know your comments, how you feel about this most recent episode of Superman and Lois. It was dope as hell. Comment down below, let me know, and I'll catch you in the next one.